Okay. I believe we are live now. Just give it a second. What we usually do is we go live a few minutes early so that our wonderful team can get the embed code and embed this wonderful video on our Facebook page. So I'm just waiting for him to do that now. In the meantime, you can look at me and my beautiful unapologetically Asian shirt that says, "It's an honor to be Asian." It's a quote from Sandra Oh. I'm going to turn off my video now and stay tuned. I'll come back in 1 second. Okay, cool. That was literally 1 second and we're embedded. So we're going to start things off. Hello, everyone. My name is Chris Ignacio. And oh my gosh, welcome to MaMa's Live Talks Take 4. I have a bunch of really awesome panelists with me today. I'm going to switch to grid view so you can all see them. You can all unmute yourselves and turn on your video now. And we'll all see you one by one. Oh my gosh, it's Jonathan, it's Carolina, it's Eugene. Uh-oh, who else is coming? Who else is coming? Patrick from Amazon, you want to unmute yourself? Hey. Oh my gosh, it's Nikki Parizzo from La Mama. Hello, it's Diane Phelan. Yes. And we have our non-Asian host over there called La Mama ETC. That's Billy Clark from Culture Hub. Thank you for your tech support. Hi guys, hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Friends.
Hello. How are you all doing?
Good.
Great.
Laughing. Okay.
So I just I wanted to thank you all for being on this talk with me today. I think the theme of this is sort of unapologetically Asian. So I have this shirt that's shout out to East West Players. It's when Sandra Oh accepted her award and said it's an honor to just be Asian. I believe Eugene's got a sushi background going on.
I do. I miss it. We don't get that now.
No.
We don't get sushi. Oh my gosh, that's right. I haven't had sushi this whole time. This is meant to be. What's that? What have you got over there, Caroline?
It's a picture of my mom with her group of guys. I guess like my uncle and her friends or something in I think one of the refugee camps when she came to Thailand or the Philippines as a boat person.
Wow.
Did you say to Thailand or the Philippines? So you're not sure which.
Those two places where she landed confused, so I don't know where she is in this picture. I think she was in the Philippines.
Oh, okay.
Those totally look like Filipino people.
Yeah, so I wanted this to be, you know, the closest word for it I think is a panel, but I wanted it to be more of just like a live hang where we're all sort of celebrating what it is to be Asian right now. And we're talking about the discrimination and growing injustices in the Asian community, as well as the creative forms of resilience that are emerging. And I know that there's another talk right now going on with Celine Song. And if anybody's like tag teaming back and forth, just give us a shout out. Just be like, hey, from La Mama, maybe she could come in and join. I don't know how it all works. This is the only way that we can all sort of like get together in an apart way. So
Patrick is there.
Who's here?
No. Maybe Patrick jumped.
Oh, Patrick, yeah. You know what? The reality is like all of these things are really rough. So people might be jumping in and out. We might just get cut out, but that's the reality of our world now. And we just have to wish them well if they disappear into a void. So I wanted to just go really quickly around the room and just get some updates from everybody. Like, how are you staying alive? How are you surviving? And you can plug your projects for a brief second. And why don't we start with the Song Collective?
Oh, that's us. Do you want to go first, Jonathan?
Sure. So how have I been surviving? I bought Animal Crossing, and I've been playing that game.
Animal Crossing, okay.
Yeah. And then our project right now has been also taking up some of our time, which is great, and giving us kind of rejuvenation. We've gathered a group of Vietnamese artists together to have circles where we share stories about our lives, and we're going to figure out how we're going to piece that into some sort of performative aspect.
Because you guys had a fundraiser, like a successful fundraiser right before this all started, right? So now you're just sitting on top of a large pile of money and you have nothing to do with it, right?
We are sitting on a large pile of money that we can't access.
Oh no.
Oh, wow.
Because in order for you to get the money from the Fractured Atlas, you have to have a bank account. And we've been using my bank account, but now that it's such a large sum, it might mess and fuck with like taxes and everything.
Yeah.
So now we're waiting to declare ourselves an LLC.
Yep, I went through that, girl. Yes.
Yeah, so we're waiting. We're like waiting for the world to start again so we can figure that out.
You can put it in my bank account. I mean, I'm cool with it.
Maybe we might just like slowly like try to drop it into different people's bank accounts. I'm Carolina. I'm 1/3 of the Song Collective with Jonathan and David, who's not here today. We've been working on a storytelling circle, and another way that I've been trying to stay alive is that I just adopted a puppy.
Oh, good for you!
All right, here he comes. Here comes the puppy.
Wow.
I mean, wait. Let me take off the background. How do I do that? It just looks weird. So we adopted a puppy right before. There we go.
Oh.
So cute.
Yeah, right before this all started.
Just gonna casually have the bourbon. Sorry.
Aw.
On the other side of that, we've just been making a shit ton of masks to donate to hospitals and shelters. So
nice.
So great.
Like a little sweatshop. We're running a little sweatshop, just the two of us.
An unapologetic sweatshop. Yeah.
We're yelling at each other like, "You're not sewing fast enough.
Good.
You're not cutting fast enough. We got people out there."
That's perfect. Diane, how are you staying unapologetically Asian? I know you have a successful campaign running.
Hey guys, for those that don't know me, I'm Diane Phelan. We have been running the campaign for hashtag racism is a virus. We first got the idea when I was talking to Vivica Chow, another prolific Asian American actress, Broadway actress, designer, photographer extraordinaire. She did my website, did shots for me. And we were talking about this was like almost 4 weeks ago, and we were seeing all the news happening for these attacks happening, and we were like, what the fuck is going on here? And she was like, yeah, it's like really shitty what's going on. And, meanwhile, we're all trying to, Broadway was just closed down, and we're all getting the quarantine notices, and we're managing our stress with that, but like, we were like, whoa, we need to do something. And because I was talking with her, I was like, oh, we should do blah. And that idea was because I had seen another picture of all these like Asians standing up in front of a government building holding signs protesting the racist attacks and xenophobia. And I was like, we need to get all of our faces out there under a unifying line. And then I texted a bunch of people, and Ariel Estrada was like, how about racism is a virus? And I felt like I'd been punched in the gut when he said that. And I was like, okay, yeah, I can get behind that. We emailed a bunch of people that I knew and he knew and our friends, and it's been really great to see the response. And so we've been spending our days having meetings and just trying to figure out how to how to get the message out to other communities, and just fielding conversations about like fundraisers. We've been raising money for Asian Americans Advancing Justice, who's a incredible nonprofit on the ground doing the work. It's just been, and running the Instagram and Facebook, and just keeping it as a resource for people who are needing support during this time when we're not only fearing for our lives. Fucking COVID. Are we allowed to drop F-bombs? I apologize.
You're fine, you're okay, yeah.
I'm feeling everything so intensely right now. I need to express myself.
We're not apologizing. You can express yourself.
Oh, right. We're not apologizing. Thank you. I think I really applaud, we talked earlier, but I really applaud you guys here at MaMa for using this platform to gather people, because there is a movement coming, right? We were all talking about how crazy this all feels and how shitty it is if we got like Zoom bombed.
Yeah, I'm worried currently about getting Zoom bombed, but if a Zoom bomber comes, we're gonna engage. And
we're just gonna engage them, because we're like, yeah, bring it. Because okay, you're gonna waste all your time to like fuck up our lives. Like, great. Like we're on your wavelength. Like we're on your.
That means you heard about us.
Yeah, you heard about us. So get us, bitches. But I really want to applaud you guys here at MaMa for creating community and creating a space for people to have conversations. So yeah, racism as a virus has been taking up a lot of my time, happily, and taking my focus, because it gives me a place to channel my fear and rage, and it just feels necessary for me at this time. And of course, I'm making videos with my cat.
Mm-hmm.
Just making videos, singing. Like he's my new scene partner. He's been Bigelow. He's been Anita and Maria. And Don. So that's what I'm doing here.
I want to move on to more success stories, but actually, I forgot. I wanted to start out with anybody's like personal experiences of injustices or discrimination, and I wanted to sort of talk about that briefly and then focus more on celebratory things, but I didn't give space for that in the beginning, so I'll do that now, and then we'll go back to talking about successful, cool projects. So I'll start a little bit as to like my whole impetus for wanting to gather everyone together today. When I was in, and this should take like 1 minute tops. When I was in Jamaica, Queens, I was walking and there was like a group of teenagers, and they were like joking around, and they were kind of like pushing each other around and stuff. And as I was passing them, one of them was like, "Hey, I'm gonna push you into that Chinese man, and you're gonna get coronavirus." And I was like, "Ooh, is this a teachable moment right now? Like, should I engage? Like, what should I do? Like, should I be the bigger person? Should I go up to them and just be like, you know what? This is why that's wrong. Like, I totally hear you. I'm not here to attack you, but this is why that's wrong, and this is the effect that has on the larger society." But I didn't do that because I felt that it wasn't worth my time, which is actually a very horrible, I think, evil feeling that I'm sort of grappling with. Because if it's not worth my time, then who's gonna do it, But I just felt like safety, like fight or flight response took over in that moment, and I was like, no, forget it. So here I am, like saying it now. So yeah, that was my whole impetus for getting this together. Has anyone else like experienced anything similar? I hope not, actually. But if you have, here's your time to just sort of get it out there, because we should all be amplifying each other and supporting each other in this time.
Yeah, actually, there's a super minor story. I'm Eugene. I teach online every day nowadays. I train actors for half my life, and I direct plays now that I don't act as much. And I'm currently staying in Hershey, Pennsylvania with my aunt and uncle to sit this out. Also, I had a roommate incident, which was very crazy. He came back from Europe and he didn't want to quarantine, so I kind of like promised. But then I'm in a much better place now, and long story, and let's not do this publicly. And we're on great terms now. It's great. And my house is looking amazing now with all the time he has. So it's very hilarious because early on, all the press was saying that the face masks don't do anything, or actually they're against. Like if you wear it wrong, incorrectly, it's actually worse off for you. That was kind of the narrative for like a good month or so. While folks with more roots in Asia, like me, my parents are still in Hong Kong. They had zero new cases, I think 3 days in a row now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like super neat. Yay. So we've been wearing masks for a while, and it's hilarious because I came to Hershey, and of course my relatives were quarantining me pretty hardcore because my uncle's a doctor, and we would have to wear masks in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And we all have separate bathrooms. Privilege, amazing. Don't usually experience this. Very special time for me. But then we would wear masks on our way to the supermarket on the car. But then the moment we get to the supermarket, my aunt's like, okay, masks off now.
Really?
All these predominantly white folks would stare at us and give us trouble.
Oh my God.
So I actually and I complied, and that was hilarious because that's actually the most dangerous part of my day.
Yeah.
It's when we don't adhere to these standards.
Yeah, but it's scary to wear a mask because it's like,
and crazy. Yeah.
for a while it outed you. It was like, oh, why are you wearing a mask? I mean, before it was like required.
Yeah.
What
there's
about
the mask, and there's the mask while Asian, which is this whole other thing.
Yeah. What about you, Jonathan, or Patrick, or Nikki?
I've been really
Wait, Jonathan, what's up? We can't hear you.
Can't hear me?
Oh, we can hear you, but you're soft.
Okay.
Be loud. Be a loud Asian.
Nothing's happened to me. I've been very lucky.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I also don't go out after dark anymore.
Yeah.
But, I've been fortunate so far in my neighborhood.
Yeah, I'm in the East Village, and I've been very lucky, and nothing's happened, and of that nature. So yeah, and maybe that's part of the neighborhood that I'm in, because there's so much diversity here, and there's so many different kinds of people. So and everyone keeps their distance and respects each other.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been my experience.
Cool. That's good to hear. Yeah, I'm in Astoria. I feel great. What about you, Patrick? You work for Amazon. How are things like in the tech world?
Yeah. So, well, first of all, I want to say, thanks for sharing that story, Chris, because, I wouldn't feel too bad about it. Like, I think, opening it up with us here is important because, maybe next time you'll be more mentally and
maybe
emotionally prepared. Who knows?
Yeah.
But at least you're leading a movement here. So, don't worry about that. Secondly, so I've known Chris for a long time. I've known him since I was like maybe 3 years old or 4 years old in Texas. And so I live in New York City in downtown Manhattan, but I actually about a month ago when all this started happening, I decided to fly down to Austin where my sister lives and stay with her for a while, and it turned out it was a good call. And so I'm here for now for maybe at least a couple months.
So you have an empty apartment that we can all go and crash, is what you're saying?
Actually, if somebody needs a spot, I'd be happy to share it.
All right. You
This
put
is
it out
very
there.
So I'll share a little bit about what we're doing as a company with Amazon, and then a little bit on my personal side. So we actually had just a call this morning with some of our Amazon leadership and kind of stories that we're working through as a company. So I work in the technology side, in the cloud technology side, and basically Amazon has a bunch of servers and data warehouses all around the world. And so, like companies like Bristol Myers Squibb, Merck, all these health companies have had to basically really ramp up their server usage for data science and analytics for for researching COVID, because nobody was expecting it. And so Amazon has came out and just provided a bunch of server usage to make this happen for the healthcare community. And then also Coca-Cola reached out to us and said that, hey, we're being asked to convert our production line from Coke products to PPE, to hospital equipment. So we're gonna start producing this, but we don't have any established distribution lines because we've never done this for this thing.
Interesting.
And then they reached out to Amazon, and we've actually been able to set up a logistics channel to help Coca-Cola distribute these masks and stuff.
Wow, that's something
really cool.
good to hear, because Amazon's coming under so much heat lately. It's like you never get to hear these little stories, you know?
Yeah, and I see that a lot with Amazon, but of course, bad press gets all the news. But I've been at Amazon for over 5 years, and I've worked with healthcare. One of my favorite projects was working with GE Healthcare, and we collaborated on doing research on hereditary cancer and splicing RNA cells so they don't pass this cancer to their kids. But the general public is not going to hear these kind of news, and we're just going to do our thing, just keep helping our customers, and then also helping people in this world. And so I think as of right now, as a company, all of us are pretty proud of how we're stepping up to the plate here. So
are you
that's Amazon.
Are you witnessing any sort of racism or weird tense things with other Asian people within the corporate system in Amazon?
No, actually, another thing you guys won't know is that our leadership this morning asked, hey, as you all know, diversity is really important to us. If you have any ideas on how we can push diversity and increase diversity in this COVID world, in a virtual world, please share it with us.
Ooh. All right, we're all gonna throw you our projects after this, Diane.
Yeah, we even have an Asian, committee, that helps spread the word.
Yeah, hook us up. We all need that Amazon money.
Sure. And then I'll just share a little bit on the personal side. So I've been DJing for a while, and DJs, I guess, have been really stepping up lately with these virtual events.
Yes, so, I go to a DJ dance party every day. D-Nice on Instagram.
Every day?
Yeah, every day, yeah, because they play every single day, and I'm like, how long are you gonna keep playing for? Okay, I guess every day. Let's go, and they do it.
So it's been a pretty amazing movement for us, because we're helping keep people entertained, but also we've been raising money. So I held a couple events. I'm up to $2,500 for United Way and the New York City Food Bank, just off of spinning for an hour and a half.
You should get Amazon to match all of that.
Anybody? So it's been a lot of fun, and it's been really good to see the response. I know that hasn't been easy for everybody, but I guess both from a professional and personal standpoint, it's been good. And from a diversity standpoint, I'm happy that our company is really pushing for this thing.
Well, I'm glad to hear that no one's really experienced anything so crazy. It seems like it's so out there, but I know actually I printed off something. Maybe this is a good time to talk about Next Shark, unless anyone else has something else to say real quick.
Well, I want to say I personally not experienced it because I only go out to walk my dog. But family down in North Carolina have really been through the ringer with it because they run a store, and before COVID, we had the KKK. So they've been used in a way we've been used to racism against us.
Wow.
But, which is really sad. But my parents have kept their store open for people to come, and people have driven an hour and a half to get to their store to get the food because everyone was hoarding down there. And my parents had someone in the store on FaceTime, talking to her friend, and the friend was just going on about killing Asians.
Wow.
So like in their own store, while they're selling goods to people who needs these to survive, this woman is like talking about like killing Asians. And then my sister was in the parking lot on the way like in her car, and this guy was like, "You bitch, you." She's wearing a mask. Um, she's got the coronavirus. So it's kind of like something where it's happening, and it has been happening. It just we kind of like I think Diane was saying earlier, like we just didn't. It wasn't like in our face so blatantly.
What part of North Carolina is this?
She's in Greensboro, North Carolina, so it's like a very liberal town. Like all of us are like it's a college town, but then you drive 30 minutes out and you see like Confederate flags, like
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm worried about what's going on in other parts of town, not New York. Although, looking at this heat map that is being generated by Next Shark, shout out to Next Shark. If you don't know who they are, you should go and follow them because they created a Facebook page called Crimes Against Asians. And after I think I made a little Facebook post about my like Jamaica Queen story, and then someone reached out to me and invited me to that group, and I was like, oh shit, there's like so many other people that this is happening to. So it was a great resource for me. I actually printed out some of their statistics because they have a report that went on. And just so you know, in the first week, they received 1,100 reports in the first couple of weeks because you can report these crimes now. So like that thing that you saw in North Carolina, you could report it. And I think we should leave this with, if I could impart anything to anyone that's watching, it's just report it so we can have the data, so we can back it up, so we can make these things like tangible and provable and record them that they happened. Some more findings from this report are that women, Asian American Pacific Islander women, are harassed at twice the rate of men. So look out for that. Children and youth are involved in about 6.3% of the incidents, which is so sad. And with shelter in place, a significant number of incidents are now taking place in grocery stores, pharmacies, and big box retail. So when you're going to the grocery store, it really, as Eugene said, that's like the battleground, I feel. It's so tense, like just being in line with someone. I feel like being in line with someone at the grocery store is like, that's where I really feel it. I'm like, oh my God, someone's about to explode right now.
Yeah. So I always initiate conversation to because when I sense that, I just own the shit out of it and start engaging.
Really?
Yeah.
Because that's like counterintuitive to me.
And then they actually, you see them, unarm a little bit. Like they're so guarded. You see them less tense.
How do you? This is good. How do you engage with someone as an Asian person in line at the grocery store? Like, what do you say?
It's like crazy times. Yeah, stay safe. Have a great one. Like even like a quick little quip. Like they all of a sudden they see you as a person versus this Asian figure in a mask that you don't talk to. And I found that effective so far and not aggravating. Of course, if you see a person who doesn't look stable, like maybe don't engage. But
I think this is a really incredibly important thing that you bring up because as talking about with Andrew Yang's article about like I think most of us reacted to being like, okay, that's really fucked up. You want us to integrate and just try to placate to be more American. But what he did bring up is this conversation about what it means to take part in the conversation of what is American. And I think, forgive me for using racism as a virus as a context. That's just kind of where my mind is all the time. But like, just kind of like what Eugene said, it's about not staying silent. It's about not going through your life being like, we're so taught to be silent and polite and not engage, and we need to find ways that like Chris, I would totally agree with you. Like the street with a bunch of hostile kids is not necessarily the time to engage. Like, I think for everybody, it's going to be different, and their level of comfortableness about engaging and speaking up is going to be different. But for me, what's important is that we create a culture, a new culture of Asian American people who engage with other people, engage in the conversation about what it means to be American, and that, like any relationship you have, it's about communication. So I think when you engage with other people and you're saying, hey, how's it going? And you say you're willing to take part rather than being like, oh, I don't want to speak up, I don't want to say something because it's more like it's better to be stoic. I think that's, I think that's something we should stay away from in terms of who do we want to be now? How do we want to take part in the conversation about what it means to be Asian American?
Yeah, and when we initiate, the ball's on our court, and then we hold power, and the rest is.
All right, I will try
Yes,
to
and of course,
initiate. Nikki.
We choose our battles, and we don't want to get hurt, of course, physically hurt. But
It's live right now.
my thing tonight with all of you is this is not the time to remain silent. And even God bless him for actually writing. His article appeared in the Los Angeles Times today, John
Cho.
And he wrote a very articulate, well thought, to the point article. We are Asian Americans, which means we are Americans until we're not. We are considered a model minority until we're not, for whatever scapegoating reasons that others will find to disinclude us. So, anyway, yes, and so John also mentioned this is not the time to be silent. So I was very happy, and kudos to Ariel for saying racism is a virus, and that's what it is. And as the elder here, because I think, oh gosh, more and more I'm turning out.
Respect your elders.
The oldest person in the room.
Hello, Nikki.
That's why I really don't want to say much. I think it's
You look great.
all up to you guys now. It's all up to you to move us forward. And I will be there, and all of us elders will be there to support you. But we still have some things to say. But thank you. It really is an honor to be here with a group of Asian American individuals who work in the arts, and we have to we have to engage and not remain silent. So, as the AIDS activists in the 80s used to say, and it was true, and it still is true, silence equals death. So we don't want that. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wise words.
We're standing on your shoulders, your generation's shoulders.
Yes, for sure.
We're standing on your generation's shoulders, and we couldn't do anything of what we do without the forging of the path laid by your generation, and it's a beautiful thing. Thank you.
And just looking at the Drama Desk list this year with all the Asian Americans on it, this is when I was in college like 7 years ago. It's crazy. Like the world is
there's nothing. There's a
whole
drought.
different ball game. It's amazing. Thank you.
So I want to close out with just a simple, well, not a simple question, but maybe what does it look like, this whole moving forward thing, for each of you? For me right now, moving forward is standing still, is taking the time to just soak in the stillness of it all and think about what it's a lot to think about what moving forward looks like. So I think all I can do right now is stay still. Anyone else?
I agree. I mean, it's kind of like this weird moment of I think Broadway shut down, all the theaters have shut down, all the industry of acting has shut down, and I feel like there's been like this desire for people to do art and to make something, to do something, shoot into the void. And that's all I think that's all great too. And there was this article circulating around a few days ago where they were like, there was this guy that was being a little bit snarky about like, well, stop, don't do it kind of thing. And I'm like, you're in this age where it's the internet. If you don't want to go on someone's live, if you don't want to see a video, don't do it. People have the desire to express themselves. Let them do it. It's their way to, figure out what this is, what this world is. And so you can disengage. Like, you don't have to walk into the room. Like, you don't have to walk into the theater kind of thing.
Someone just walked into your room. Someone just walked into your room.
I know. I have a dog. I'm sorry. My dog's making a cameo. It'll be Stitch K. But I think, what was the other thing? I was just saying, I think like one of the other things is just trying to figure out how to survive at this point, because no one knows what the next 2 or 3 weeks are going to be like. And a lot of people right now, myself included, are on such unstable financial terrain. And in some ways, like, doing art is a privilege, and that is a privilege that I have to do it. But also at the same time, it costs money, it costs time, and a lot of people don't have that right now. A lot of people are just trying to figure out how to pay rent, and I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, I should be creating right now. And I'm like, no, just do what you need to do so that if things ever go to a normal state or get back to being open, you're ready for it. You need to take whatever time you need to take to do it, because you can't rush into anything. And I like your being still, taking it in, because as artists, especially as actors, we don't have anything that's tangible to share. But I think what's so important is our ability to put to words and emotions things that other people aren't able to say, and maybe this is our time to just take it all in, so that when the time comes, we are able to express it for others. Yeah.
Well said. How about from the boys? Any thoughts, quick thoughts on what moving forward looks like?
It's interesting in theater making, because I engage in basically performance-based classes every day on Zoom. While we embrace the tools we have to stay connected, don't ever get used to this form as a replacement of the human connection in a room, because that's why all of us do theater, I think, and it is irreplaceable, and cameras and film is not a new thing. But then this live interaction, the level of interactivity we're finding is pretty foreign and new to all of us, and embracing that is useful, but also acknowledging and be very, very present, with this form, because in a group setting, in my kind of acting class land, it's one source to 20 different sources, and they receive individually, not collectively. That just isn't possible. And how do we find that kind of intimacy too? I'm just curious as a maker, at this moment, when we make these online things, how do we feed in ASMR, these plays into people's ears, and find these, it's just fascinating to me. But this is not the new normal. I can't stand by. But Audible Theater, I'm very curious. They should work with Song Collective, and I should direct. Okay, done.
There you go. Hustle.
Diane's the lead.
We will email.
We love talking. I think just kind of piggybacking off of both Jean and Carolina and everyone else. I think moving forward is difficult, and it's a time where we're kind of being forced to really reevaluate what theater is right now, what storytelling is for us. And having worked in some institutions, both on the administrative end and the production end, I've come to learn that theater administrators and the gatekeepers are the ones who are very afraid to move forward in terms of technology or like trying new things or taking risks in those areas. And now we're kind of forced to take those risks because that's all we have left. So hopefully moving forward, we have, like, on the upside, have something that is going to help us grow as storytellers and make this craft kind of move forward in a new, exciting way that we never expected until we were forced to do it because we've been, doing a copy-paste template for the last, 20, 30 years, especially on the regional level. So I'm hoping moving forward that there's a newfound level of growth in what we do.
Patrick, I feel like in the tech sector, there's like a lot of movement, and I feel like it's probably always moving forward, right? So does it look any different from you? Like, how do you see us like 6 months from now, even? That's like, seems like thinking 2 years from now or something.
Well, outside of that, I just want to make a comment. I think it's kind of funny that just like a year and a half ago, what was that movie that came out that was really good? Where it was like the big Asian movie.
The big Asian movie, Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah, Crazy Rich Asians. Yeah. And then like Asians were like super cool at that time.
Ricky's face.
And now everybody's being racist against Asian people. Which is like,
Yeah.
But I guess I think all of you are like right. Like everybody has to speak up against it. I love the campaign, the motto, like racism is a virus. That's really awesome. I think it is important to speak up because we're just gonna go back to being cool soon enough, as long as we continue being out and present. I guess that's all I have to say. On the technology side, I mean, I don't know anything like in particular as racism, but I think it's great to see the media. I mean, we at Amazon we play like my customer is Sony, so I do a lot of like Sony pictures and movies and whatnot. It's really great to see media and theater and music really push a lot. Like Coachella brought in was it Pink? Blackpink.
Blackpink, my girls.
Yeah, it's really cool to see that. They're the first Asian country representatives. So we're definitely coming up, and it's really great. So I think if we just keep being cool, then we'll be good.
You guys need to develop a solid karaoke app for all of the Asians out there because Smule is not cutting it for me
There's
anymore.
not just Smule.
I think you have to like pay for it and stuff. I'm over it. There needs to be. We're trying to figure out a way to really like duet with people in real time because Smule is still like recorded, but I would love to have like real time group karaoke jams. All right, so I maybe just plug yourselves and your projects for this last couple minutes. I wanted to shout out to Nicole Ponseca at Jeepney feeding all of the frontliners. I wish she could be here, but I'm always following her Instagram. If you want to write down your IG on a piece of paper and get people to screenshot it, now's the time to do it. But yeah, just any last parting words before we sign off.
I would like to say, if you want some way to help from the safety of your home and have a pair of handy scissors, I'm part of a group of people sewing masks for hospitals, and we're always looking for more people to cut or sew. And the good thing about being a cutter is that all you need to do is know how to use a pair of scissors. And what they do is, like, if you're able to do it, they'll bring you the fabric, and all you have to do is cut and trace, and then they'll pick it up for you so that other people can sew it. So
what's that called?
It's called LIC Masks, like Long Island City, but the initials of LIC Masks. I'm going to write it down on a Sharpie. It's an awesome group of just people sewing. Mm-hmm. So, and we are always like trying to meet the demand of all the hospitals that need it. So if you have scissors and want to help, is that readable?
Yeah.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Or if Amazon wants to throw some fabric.
Yeah. You hit me up.
And Diane, I think do you have something about your campaign and that you want to say?
Yeah, I do. Thank you. Especially for API month, starting May 1st. We are doing a big push for everyone who feels like they want to say something and speak out, but are looking for something. There is you can see behind me all these people. They've made their signs. Follow us on Twitter, and I don't know if that's backwards or not.
It's not.
No, it's not. It's right.
We're at Racism is a Virus. You can join our Facebook group, Insta, and Twitter. And we have shirts. And all the shirts, all the money goes to Asian Americans Advancing Justice, which is a nonprofit doing all important social justice work for advancing Asian American communities on the ground. So, if you want to join us for API month on anywhere in the first week, make yourself a sign, hashtag racism is a virus, talk about your stories, just speak up, or just post your face. I think having our faces out there, letting the rest of America see who we are and saying, hey, you can't do this to us. Okay? So yeah, we're here for you. Thanks.
Hey, are y'all shipping t-shirts? Y'all ship?
What?
Ooh, right.
Ship a t-shirt? Like if we purchase one?
Yeah, if you go to our Insta or you go to our website, the link to our shop is there, and it will go straight to you. The shirt will go straight to you.
Sweet.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool. Well, unless anyone else has anything to say, I think we're good to go. Thank you guys.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
I didn't have some.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Chris. One thing I wanted to say is, and maybe this is not so disguised plea for all of us voting in November, but we cannot allow our leaders or people who purport to be our leaders in government, whether it be city, state, or federal, to keep perpetuating racist stereotypes of who we are and who we aren't. We can't allow the President of the United States to keep perpetuating this stereotype. So we have a way of remedying that is by voting in November to get some of these people out, or most of them out, as much as we can. Okay, that's my politics.
No, that's so good. I'm so glad you mentioned that.
And can I piggyback on that and just go to immigrant ban and xenophobia for 2 seconds?
Yes.
Yes.
And what that implication can be, on the macro. It's way bigger than stereotypes and racism. It's just the larger xenophobia in this culture that they're trying to grow. Just want to acknowledge that.
Yes, thank you, G.
As someone who's on an O1 visa because I'm Asian Canadian secretly.
Oh, I like that.
Also, I want to add yes and to a lot of what's been said about standing up for ourselves as Asian Americans and taking up space and not letting people say racist things to us when it occurs. I also want to put it on everyone else in other communities who are not Asian American who also witness these interactions happening, and to say, stand up too. Please say something. It's not just up to us, it's up to all of us to speak up and not allow this to happen. We need your support and we want your support.
Very good. Oh,
Well said.
So the second thing I wanted to say is actually my plug for next Tuesday at 7 p.m. April 28th. I'm hosting a Cafe La Mama. I believe it's Take 4. Cafe La Mama Take 4. And three of my guests will be dancer choreographers. One is Yoshiko Chuma, who's Japanese. One is John Scott, who is Irish, lives in Dublin. and one is Paz Cancuatio, who's Filipina American, who is now in San Diego, and playwright Dale Orlander Smith, and maybe hopefully one other person that I can't reveal yet. But please, if you have some free time, please tune in next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Cafe La Mama. Thank you very much.
Cool. Thank you guys so much
on,
for.
on the plugged front, like I just want to shout out because my show at the Hudson Valley Shakespeare Festival has been canceled, and they decided to pay the creative team a third of the salary. I just want to shout out kindness to artists and for us paying that back, to each other at this time of need. And I'm making my international festival directing debut at the Hong Kong Arts Festival next spring. Not yet announced, so keep an eye. Bye. Done.
I love it. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for doing this and for taking the time. And shout out to Celine's song and your talk that's going on right now. This is all of us talking together in this new space. Thank you all so much. I'm sorry I didn't set up like a Zoom after party or something, but you guys should go and have a drink and celebrate yourselves.
Oh, Patrick, can you plug your DJing virtual parties?
Oh,
I would love to be there.
Yeah. Is there a way to communicate that to? Do you have like a group or something?
Yeah, well, we can put it on La Mama's Facebook page and our webpage and stuff like that.
Okay, cool. I'll let you know.
Great.
Cool.
What's
Meet you.
What's
What's that?
what tunes do you spin? What's your?
It depends on the crowd, right? So like if it's a pop crowd, then I can play pop, but I do house and hip hop. So yeah, I did
Just 90s R&B, you can't go wrong. And disco. All right. I'm going to end this call, so I'll see you guys on the other side. Thank you again so much.
yeah. Bye.
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 Bye.